Hello and welcome to my alternative channel. Excuse the noise outside. They're working on the gas lines, and you got that big tractor out there. So I've got a beer from Aldi called Chocolate Lava Cake Stout. Now, I've had a chocolate lava cake before, but I wouldn't say I had them a lot. But they're gooey and full of chocolate. Well, what can you say? And this is a stout that's supposed to taste like that. It's from State of Brewing in Wisconsin. It's produced for Aldi only. It's their brand. And there's no website listing. So, I mean, there might be now, but when I checked the other day, there wasn't. That could change overnight, of course. There we go. 8% alcohol. Whoa. Stout with natural flavors. You see that. No coloring added. So there's the whatever that design is supposed to be. Butch Willie said, I caught you again. I feel like a creep. I hope it's just a feeling. Okay, now, not the proper glass, but it'll be all right. On this alternative channel, anti-war. Anti-war channel. All right. All right. You can see this reverse cascade. And it's going to rush up to the top. And you're going to get a beige head. But it's still rushing. This glass does that. You know, this glass is sort of designed for wheat beers, but this might have wheat in it. All right. Very nice. Thanks for watching, Butch, and all the rest of the people. All right. So it's going to smell like chocolate, let me tell you right now. Smells like malty chocolate. Yeah, malty chocolate. There's no other, really can't add anything to that. Malty chocolate. Sort of brown. The nose, like I said, malty chocolate. The taste. It's chocolatey. There's sort of a burn on it. Almost a bitterness and a burn from like baker's chocolate. It's sort of a dry stout. You think, oh, it's chocolate, so it's going to be just a sugar bomb. But no, that isn't the case. It's bitter and not really from hops, I don't believe. It's bitter from that bitter baker's chocolate. I think that's what they're using. The dry, bitter stout. A high, medium body. And it's a dry stout, so you know it's going to have a dry finish. So we'll say 2 out of 5 sugar cubes. Bitterness, 3 out of 5 hop cones. But in this case, it's 3 out of 5 baker's chocolate cubes. You know, those, they got like comes, you can break it off into cubes. So I like it a lot. And I think it is worth an A, like a 93 out of 100. You say, oh, that's a cheap store, private label, store brand, craft beer, you know. It ain't worth nothing. Well, you never had it. If you haven't had it, don't judge it. But actually, it is pretty darn good, and I enjoy it. And it's delicious. But just be ready. I think a chocolate lava cake might have a lot more sweetness, but like I say, I only had it like once or twice, and it did kind of, in my thinking, it did kind of have that burn to it. But I liked it. It was like, it's all gooey and everything. No, I mean, but a velvety mouthfeel, just all around enjoyable. I don't know what else to say. I wouldn't drink too many of them. Maybe once a week. I got two left after this. I'll save one for Stout Sunday. 8%. It's not going to go off. Thing will hold for a year at least. Chocolate might fade. I don't know if chocolate fades in flavor. I'm not a food scientist. And I'll use the last one for some other purpose. I don't know what. Maybe if my daughter comes over, she'd like to try it. But anyway, there it is. And the viewers, Butch, or anybody, if you want to see anything that I bought recently, let me know. I could show you something that I bought. Something new, something strange. But I think you find it interesting. Sure, you want to see it? Okay. Get ready right now. Coming up right now. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get right to the point. Here we go. No delay. No holdups. You know what I mean? I used to have an uncle. He would hold people up. He would delay things. He would keep talking. It would go on and on. Just kidding. All right. Now, I usually wear a belt, but I'm just lounging around. Okay, this weirdo is called Vodovska. I'm going to look that up. Does that word mean anything in Russian? Vodovska! In the beautiful plastic bottle. And nothing says quality like plastic. But seriously, folks, it's not a horrible looking label. It's definitely not the best, but it's got this like ox blood. What do you call it? Like a brown, reddish brown ox blood. Like they used to have at Taco Bell, their uniforms used to on the cap, and then it's got that color scheme on the band. It's got a crown. Now the crown does make sense if you think about it. No, it's made in Mexico, so Mexico does not have a king. Has not had a king since going back to around 1810. But 10 times filtered. You want to do that with vodka, and it's triple distilled, so it's distilled 3 times, and which is not that much, but it's something. They've got, what's that one platinum vodka over there from Sazerac, Buffalo Trace over there at Mathern's? They got 10 times. They got a platinum. The regular platinum 7, but there's a platinum 10 times distilled, and they got it over there. But this is a weird one. It's vodka platinum, meaning clear. All vodka has to be clear unless it's flavor vodka. But listen to this. Distilled from premium sugarcane, product of Mexico, made using a traditional charcoal filtration method. Well, that's traditional. They filter vodka through charcoal to clear it up. It's dripped 10 times. Probably got to keep changing the charcoal eventually. Remember, vodka is supposed to have no aroma and no flavor. It's like golf. The lower your score, the better you're doing, right? So the less flavor and the less aroma, the better the score. Selected and imported by Dubai Island International Corporation, Brownsville, Texas. And I think that's what the crown is for, because Dubai, Dubai is one of the states, one of the Arabian states in part of the United Arab Emirates. And they have an emir, which would be like a prince in our world, a Western world. So it's got a crown. So it's an emirate, or we would call it a principality. Maybe that's more like a duchy. Maybe it's a duke. I don't know. I think it's a prince. Like, I'd have to look up those equivalencies, but maybe a sheik is a prince and an emir is a duke. You know how Liechtenstein is a principality. They have a prince. Whereas Luxembourg is a grand duchy. They have a duke. But a duke can be a prince, right? That's right. A duke can be a prince. What am I thinking? Like Prince Philip. He was the Duke of Edinburgh, right? Okay. Never mind. Duh. Hey, I'm not a royalist. I mean, I'm not a royal, like, expert. I am sort of a royalist in a sense. Not to say I'm pushing to bring a king to the United States or a queen. I'm just saying, back in 1775, I probably would have been on the loyalist side, but that's immaterial to this video. I think, but it does fit with the anti-war approach, doesn't it? All right, but Vodovska, well, in some ways, it's an oddity. And you want to know what the price was? This big handle was $7.99, and I thought $7.99 for this huge thing of vodka. Are you for real? And then I found out I could have gotten it 50 cents cheaper in Mandeville, Louisiana. Of course, that's 70 miles away, so it doesn't do me any good. It's a theoretical discount. $7.49 over there, but $7.99 for this thing. How's it going to taste? I don't know. I've never tried it. It could be an atrocity of mankind. I don't know. There's no video reviews for it. There were barely any videos for the Taka Premium Vodka or Premium Liqueur, the green label. Oh, Fui, not Taka, Nikolai, sorry. Coming from the same people, Nikolai. That was $8.99 at Total Wine and More, which is extraordinarily cheap as it is. But you know what? That Nikolai is pretty good stuff. I mean, it's really good. It's like really good. You say, you're crazy. You need to stop making videos because no $8.99 vodka, or in this case, the premium vodka or premium liqueur version is going to be tolerable or worthwhile. Well, you're wrong on both counts. It's not only tolerable, it's quite worthwhile. All right, but anyway, and I have been using it in my mix-ups, and I got more mix-ups coming when I'm finished with the Nikolai, which might take years. Then we'll bring in the Vodovska, I guess. I'm so curious to try the Vodovska though, just because of its strangeness. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look bad. No, it looks all right. I bought it at International Market on Barron Street in Metairie, Louisiana. Barron, Baron. I don't know where that name came from, Barron Street. But it's a huge grocery store. Well, for what it is, like an International Market, they got food from all over the world. So usually they kind of like little stores in a strip mall. But this thing is huge. And it's like you can't even process it. I'm so lost when I go in there. Like I don't ever go to the produce section because I get overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm looking at, or the meat. It's just I can't handle it, And then the frozen food and the tea and spices, hot sauce season. It's amazing. It's unbelievable, really. I mostly gravitate around the liquor section. The beer is incredible too, but well, not incredible. Interesting. The liquor area is incredible. I'm telling you now, if you went to the store, you would be just shocked, overwhelmed. Have I ever been to a store like that in any other city? No, can't say I have. Now, Golden City Market in Metairie, a few miles east, is very amazing too, but it's much smaller. But it's amazing. Probably got as much stuff in there. It's so crammed in there. That's an amazing store. Hong Kong Market on the West Bank in Tarrytown is pretty amazing too, with all their fresh seafood and everything. Smelly though, but it's with all the seafood. But that's a pretty amazing place. So I don't know why we got those amazing stores. Probably because New Orleans is a port city close to the Gulf, and people say it's 100 miles from the Gulf because you're looking at the river. So you got to go 100 miles down the river to get to the Gulf. But actually, New Orleans is only like about 5 miles from the Gulf. If you look at the east part of the city, it's like right there. It's just, you could come in by a train or a small boat, So it's really about 5 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So it's a big port city. And that's probably what I got. Did they have a store like that in New York City? Most likely. I just never been in it. You would figure Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Miami, more than likely, probably all have stores like that. But I'm telling you, I've been around all those cities that I just named, and I never saw anything like International Market. I never had. My daughter, she's been to Scotland, London. She's been to Scotland, England, and Ireland, and Belgium. And she said, I never saw a store like that. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen a vodka made in Mexico. I hadn't either. And I thought, isn't that a rum? Wouldn't a rum be something made from sugarcane? But I read a website that also makes sugarcane vodka, and they say no. And they were very detailed. They said no. Here's the difference, and they explained it. They said sugarcane vodka is made from sugarcane. You take a sugar. They were showing the video where they were taking the stalks, and they had this thing where they cranked it and it squeezed all the juice out. The juice. They said we take the juice, we put it in a container and add yeast to it. That's all we do. We just let it sit there, and then the yeast turns it into alcohol. Then they start. So that's like a vodka wine, Then they distill it and it turns into vodka. They said now rum is made from sugar cane byproducts. Cane syrup or molasses. Cane syrup, those are byproducts of making sugar, they said. So it's the same thing really, but it's a different origin, basically. Okay, but it was very interesting reading that. They sell beer in supermarkets in Pennsylvania, but I usually go to the Arab-owned stores for what it's worth. Oh, okay. I did buy beer in Pennsylvania once, and it was like some military exercise. I said, I want to buy that beer on the shelf. I don't remember what it was. Could have been Yingling, like the tall can of Yingling, back when you couldn't really get it around here. This was like a big production. It was on United States Highway 322, right off of US 1 over there, down there by right where they come together, right? Literally where they come together. What you call that town? Oh, there's all kind of towns along Highway 1, US 1. As soon as you enter Pennsylvania, they got to exit where they got that potato chip factory. But I usually go take a right on 322 and head down toward the river. Then I can go to Philadelphia or cross the bridge to New Jersey. But whatever the case, the girl's like, okay, you want to buy this? I need to see your ID. Okay, she's typing it in. Now, next, stand here. Next, I ring it up. Next, I put it in the bag. And then she's doing it, folding the paper bag, stapling it with a staple. Oh, I never heard of something like this. I mean, in Louisiana, you'd be lucky if they asked for the ID, first of all, which is rare. And, they're not going through a production. They're just going to put it in the bag and say, hey, bye. All right. I suppose that's better than them going around with bombs. I would rather have beer than bombs. That's why the anti-war channel, drink beer and don't entertain bombs. Okay. I'm loving this stout. It's really good. For the price, $7.99 for a 6-pack, full-size cans, 12 ounces. It is amazing, when you consider that price. Because if this was coming from one of those big-name craft beer companies, it would be like $15.99 for a 4-pack of, pint cans. But still, and it would have something with funny animals on it or the devil. It's always that. It's either funny animals or something about the devil, corpse of the temple, and all of this. I'm like, what is these people's major malfunction, man? These brewers got major problems. They think they're bad, like, oh, look at me, I got facial piercings, and I got tats all up and down my arms, and I got stuff about the devil on my cans. I want to tell them when I go to a brewery, I'm going to say, hey, you're not bad, you're not impressive, and you're not intimidating. You look like a fool, and your cans look like a fool, and your beer is not that good. Even if it was, I don't respect it. It's moronic. You want to project evil and the occult and everything. I say, man, you want to be all out there and on the edge. I got so many ideas for your company that'll put you on the edge, but unfortunately, it'll put you out of business. But you don't have the guts to put that on the can. Now, you're politically correct evil, and that does not impress me. Okay, it's stupid, it's idiotic, and it's dumb, and I don't like it. Okay, anyway. Yeah, they look like a circus. They look like a circus. The cans look like a circus. Now, the funny animals, okay, they're not offensive or, questionable. But I don't want to look at balloons and elephants and chipmunks and all this and cheap artwork on a paper label. Yes, I should develop can art for beer companies because I would have much better ideas than these people. Well, there's a cheap beer right there that's got a can that looks 1,000 times better than any of these craft beer companies. And it's simple. It's not even that impressive, but Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, huh? Lucky Streak beer. Thanks to Wayne Allen for sending this unlisted Budweiser Anheuser-Busch product. Not even on the website. But it's there, and he said they got it in Pennsylvania for $13.99 a 30-pack. I said, boy, if it was that price in Louisiana, that would be my beer right now. It tastes so good. But see, it's a nice can. Got nice artwork. It's very well laid out. It looks respectable. There's no bunny rabbits or balloons or chipmunks. There's nothing about the devil or corpses or people going to hell. Like, that's good. Like, that makes me want to buy a beer. Oh, wrong. Sorry. Anyway, enough of that rant. Back, although it's justified. If you see this, I would absolutely recommend it. Buy it. Buy it. I do not work for Aldi, nor do I get money from Aldi. Not that I'm turning that down. If they call me up and say, we want you to make videos for all our beers, we'll send them to you for free, and we'll be your whatever, I'd say, sure. I'm not going to say it's great. Most of the beers y'all put out is kind of not that good, but nice. I said, that's what I'll say. And I'll do a video every day. And I'll say the same thing. There are exceptions. This is an exception. This one is much better than normal. I said, if you want me to get out there on the internet and make videos talking about how your beers are kind of not that great, but a good deal for the price, I'll make them. They would probably say, oh, no, we don't want that. We want you to talk about how they're awesome. But they got a long way to go before they get to awesome. Oh, well, there's also not a man pretending to be a woman on the can. Haha. That's true. Yeah, well, Butch, they jumped off the bridge on that one. All right. Well, yeah, Butch, that's how you get caught off guard. You're not prepared, and you got these underlings doing their own thing, and they do these crazy things, and there's no supervision, and then you get caught. It's a mess. All right, thanks everybody. Bye bye. Y'all take care now.